Everyone, today I wanted to give you a quick overview and tutorial on how to lend out assets on KuCoin and the two different types of lending on KuCoin, because we've got crypto lending and pool X earn. But first of all, I'll just give you a quick overview. So let's just head over to the USDT market. And as we can see, we've got USDT funding market, daily interest rate, annualized rate, term, and total amount. So this basically says the amount that has not been lent out, but is available for people to borrow at this rate. So you can pretty much guarantee that anything under this amount, oh, there you go, you saw one just disappear. So anything under the amount at the top right here is basically the current rate. So as you can see, the optimal rate is 0.025, so that's daily. So 0.025 is basically the amount you'd need to put in to get a very, very high chance, or basically a guarantee, that your funds are going to be lent out. So let's just go for an example. I've just deposited some KSM tokens, and I could choose to manually lend out 100% of my tokens for 7, 14, or 28 days. And each time it gets lent out and comes back into my account with the bit of extra interest, I could lend it out again, or I'm going to turn on auto lend. So there's three things to pay attention to here: the reserved amount, the term, and the minimum day rate. So what I like to do is put the reserve amount as 0, because the reserve amount is basically how much you want to keep in your main account that does not get lent out. So as you can see, for my total assets, I've got 3.61775 KSM tokens in my account right now. And let's say I wanted to keep one KSM token in my account and lend out everything else, then I'd put 1 in the reserve amount. But let's say I wanted to lend it all because I don't need it in my account right now. So I'll just put 0 in the reserve amount, which means I do not want to reserve any for myself. I want to lend it all out. And the terms, let's say you're going to be checking it every few weeks, or you might be wanting the tokens in a few weeks, then you'd unselect 28 and 14 and just leave it as 7. But since I'm going to be lending it out for a while, I'm just going to select 7, 14, and 28. And finally, the minimum day rate, I always put this to 0.001%. And that's because no matter what rate you put in, as long as it's low enough, it'll get lent out to someone. So as you can see, the priority interest rate, if I click this blue link here, it'll just give you this pop-up saying the priority interest rate for all pending orders of the selected lending period. Orders with this interest rate will be prioritized for auto lending. Go, I understand. So I'm just going to go 0, because you basically have to put in a number lower than the current interest rate. So the current lowest interest rate is 0.045% daily. So you can basically put 0, and then that gets lent out at the current rate. So no, this is not going to get lent out at 0%. This is going to get lent out at 0.045% or slightly below. So you've got a guarantee of being lent out. So final checks, I've got auto lend on, reserve amount is 0 because I want to lend out at all. Got terms filled up, minimum day rate 0%. But let's say you didn't want to lend it out at anything lower than 0.049% daily. So as soon as the interest rate is below 0.049%, your tokens will not be lent out. But as long as it's above 0.049%, it will be lent out. But if you put the number too high, then it's not going to be lent out at all. So there's basically no benefit in having it too high. So I'm just going to leave it at 0, enable auto lend, go confirm, successful, and there we go. So now it's in open orders. Got the daily interest rate. It's automatically filled in because 0.045 is the best interest rate, term 7 days, and the time is the current time right now. And that's basically all done. Now we just have to sit back and wait, and this could take anywhere from a few seconds to a few hours, depending on the market you're lending. And then once that gets filled, it'll go to unsettled. So that means it's being lent out, but it hasn't been paid back to you yet. And then once it's done, it'll go settled, and then you'll see your principal, so the amount you lent out, the interest you got, and the repayment you get back. And that's as easy as that. So now let's head up to finance again and go to pool X earn. So for some tokens, they will not be in crypto lending, And if it's a more niche token, it's going to be in pool X, or if it's really niche, it might not even be there at all. So just a few days ago, I participated in the LSS 30-day lockup period with an annualized rate of 38.11%. So if you do have a token, let's say you've got some lossless tokens as well, good on you. Gonna go subscribe, and you put in the amount here, you just press all and it'll fill in the amount. Obviously I don't have any available now, but as you can see, I've already staked 550.29 blah 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 LSS tokens. So I get rewards in LSS tokens and POL tokens as well. And once the waiting period has ended, so in about 1 day and 9 hours from now, it'll get locked up, and in 30 days, I'll get the lossless tokens back, plus some interest, plus some POL tokens as well. So what you do is go fill in the amount, minimum 100. All right, let's go 100. Go I agree and subscribe, and that's all done. Now you wait for the waiting period, wait for the 30 days or the redemption period, and then check your wallet after it expires. Hey everyone, if you like that video, consider leaving a like. If you want to have a good old chat, why not join my Discord server below. Okay, thanks, bye.